Hey everybody, it's Decap here, and in this video I'll be finishing up all the Kalimdor races, at least on the regular difficulty, as I work to get all the collectibles or whatever from doing this. So I'm here in Fellwood right now, first off here. This one appears to be like it might be a little bit sketchy. We'll see. Uh, lots of trees everywhere. From what I remember, even just flying through here with non-dragon riding, there's quite a bit of stuff to get stuck on, so we'll see. We'll see how they made the course. So far, this is my. I did one when I wasn't even recording in Hyjal. One of the ones in Hyjal. That one was okay, but I think out of the four I've done prior to this, probably so far my favorite is Winter Spring. But that's also to do with a lot of the zone. You know, I was jokingly calling this nostalgia riding, because you're dragon riding through the old nostalgia zones, basically. And, you know, Winter Spring is one of my favorite zones of all time, so... Oh, stuck on a tree. Yeah, that was bound to happen. Not too bad, though. There's a tree there to get stuck on. You gotta look out to the left and right of these rings. Looks like on some of them you want to, like... Oh, wow, that's really tight. On some of them you want to be a little bit more to the left or right and not, like, necessarily in the center. Ooh, I hit something there, but it did not slow me down, so that was good. Okay. I imagine I still got gold, yeah. Not by a lot, though, only by 3 seconds. So, that course, a little bit difficult compared to some of the other ones. We have this one in the north of Hyjal next, so I'll start heading there. This Fellwood course, you know, pretty underwhelming. Fellwood's not a zone that I had a lot of enjoyment with back in the day. A lot of pain in Fellwood, a lot of running back to my corpse in Fellwood. So I can't say it's like a huge nostalgia factor for me here. This, of course, will be like Cataclysm, which I think is cool too. It's not just I'm really looking forward to the Eastern Cup, Twilight Highlands as an Alliance player and as like a dwarf main, basically. I'm looking forward to whatever they put here. Hopefully they put 2 of them here, like they did in Hyjal. So definitely looking forward to that. All right, we're here at the Northern Hyjal course. This one starts on a pretty cool little tree root or something that's going through the mountain. I'd like to try the course. See? I imagine these will be pretty good. These zones were made with flying in mind, remember? So the newer zones should naturally be better for dragon riding in general. And it's really the older zones were reworked in Kata to incorporate flying, but these were literally made with flying in mind, which I think changes it a lot. I think in the same way, you could have some really interesting things in Northrend, and even in, how cool would it be? There's actually a story part that you could make it work with the Wildhammers being there and their stronghold or whatever. You could even go to Outland, in theory. Okay, that was a very easy course. Only 4 seconds under, but that was a very, very easy course. But yeah, I think some of the old places, because those were designed with flying in mind too. This is really cool, but I think could be even cooler for places with flying in mind. I think I'm headed to Ashenvale next, so we'll start flying there. But I'd really like, let's go up. Mists of Pandaria, obviously. All the zones really. Like you could put these everywhere. Lore wise, maybe the only one that wouldn't make sense is Draenor. Alternate timeline. I think they could make some cool ones in Shadowlands. I don't know if that would necessarily make sense, but yeah, I would love to see it. I think we will, especially in I think Northrend and Pandaria especially would be good. Although, like I said, there is you could make it in Outland here because they have this Wildhammer stronghold, right? So you have the Wildhammers already here. You could easily bake them into the dragon riding as they are Griffin riders, Griffin tamers. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Okay, we're coming up on Ashenvale here. Let's see. I can't imagine Ashenvale is going to be hyper interesting because you're just going to have to kind of go through some trees, I imagine. And, you know, you could always get stuck on the trees, but we'll see. I don't have high hopes for this one. I also, even though I'm a long-time Alliance player, I'm not really a Night Elf player. So I don't have, like, any real personal connection to Ashenvale. Probably the biggest thing I did here, I mean, I did some of the quests here, and I did Warstone Gulch and queued for it here and stuff, because I was, and get the gear and stuff from the Warstone Gulch vendors. But, probably getting that Furbolg item that is not a toy still, but you got it for a quest, and if you just never did the quest, you got to keep the item. I still have it on my main character, my original character, I should say. But other than that, I didn't do much in Ashenvale. I did a few things. I did the Black Fathom Deeps, but I didn't do a whole lot in Ashenvale. I missed my landing, but that's okay. Gold, pretty easy by about 8 seconds, so pretty easy on that one. Nothing to write home about. That was really easy. Nothing great there. A little nice story about a toy, I guess. I think we're gonna go Stone Talon, and then probably Desolace. Is there one in Mulgore? I don't see one. Probably Desolace. Just, go back and forth between the zones. All right, so we're here in Stone Talon Mountains. So Stone Talon Mountains, I actually have a lot of history here. So if you're an Alliance player, there's a quest in Stormwind that sends you here, or at least used to be. I don't know if it still exists. And, me and my friends who started playing the game together a long, long time ago picked it up. And I think we also had quests to go to Desolace as well. And we're like, well, let's just get these out of the way. They're kind of close to each other or whatever. And so we checked all the way here. Like I said about Ashenvale, like we didn't spend much time in this continent yet. So we didn't really know where we were going. We died so many times just getting here. And then we were really seeing Horde for the first time, like lots of them, and it was wild. We died so many times here. We ended up doing all the quests here, which was actually smart, because there was like some small little hubs for Alliance players to do stuff here. One was like in the northwest of the zone, and I think there were like some neutral goblin quests or something as well, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, so spent a ton of time in this zone. Unfortunately, it wasn't all good time. So this race is pretty sketchy, really. I did really well on it, but just pretty much tightly weaving through trees. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of these old zones are going to be. It's going to be tightly weaving through trees. I think the next one on my list is Durotar. So I definitely don't have much to say about Durotar, but we're going to head there. So we're actually here in the Barrens. I didn't see this one on my map. I don't think I did it already. But yeah, I was on my way to Durotar and I'm here. When it comes to Barrens, again, not a ton of history here. I've done the modern quests here, like the, post-Cata quests here. But I did not spend, I did not have those memories of the Barrens. Did I ever come here to run the dungeon back in the day? I think I did on maybe my second character. Well, my first character I didn't. And my second character still would have been during Burning Crusade, but nothing too old of memories here in the Barrens. I imagine this is going to just be a pretty much straight course. There's not much to do here. It is a bit of a flaw in the old zones like we talked about on some of the other ones. That there's not these different elevations, in a lot of ways at least. So that's a really quick one, really fast one, really easy one. No problem. Now we'll head to Durotar and then south. Alright, I'm here in Durotar. The other thing cool about the Eastern Kingdoms, though, again, I'm very biased towards Alliance, sorry. But what's cool about the Eastern Kingdoms one is, so while there are mountains here, there's clearly mountains everywhere, right? But one thing that's really cool is having the Cosmodon region, the Dwarven region with all the mountains and stuff. I would hope they have the foresight to put some racing stuff all the way through there and all around there. A course on top of Ironforge, for example. is pretty much like a no-brainer, hopefully. So definitely hoping for that. Like this Duratar one, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I'm going through like a little valley here. Then now I'm just out and open, out open water. Stuck on a tree. And I could definitely live without these straight line dodging the tree ones. There's just no scenery, you know. Winter, spring, that was a good. That, you know, again, that's still one of my favorite ones that I've done. And with winter, spring, you have all these mountains and you enjoy the scenery. Like I said, you went through the valleys here, but I could deal with that. Ooh, this is a cool little area. Going through some ruins. Looks like it's gonna finish up here. So I did hit a wall, but it doesn't seem to. They've been very generous on these timers. So I hit something and still was almost 3 seconds under. So very generous on their timers for sure. Okay. So it looks like there's only a few left, I think. I think I got one in Southern Barrens, Decilis, Fairlas, Silithus, Ungoro. I think there's supposed to be one in Oldham, but for some reason I'm not finding it. So hopefully I find it. Let's head down to the Southern Barren ones, I guess. I don't think there's one here in Dust Swallow. Which makes sense. It's just a swamp. All the way down here. The Razor Fen. Oh, man. I imagine Razor Fen's going to be just going through all that thickety crap. Alright, so we're here at the thicket. I'm a little bit nervous for this one. I don't want to be flying through this crap. Oh, man. This reminds me of the thickety area. I mean, obviously this area came first. And I actually... This is a dungeon that I typically did, even back in vanilla. But it reminds me of the thickety place, and because I don't normally fly through here, I guess. It reminds me when you're leaving Hellfire to go into where, I don't know why I'm blanking on the zone, but the zone with Shattrath City from Hellfire, and you have to like go through the thicket and fight those little, I don't even know what they are, like little thicket-looking beasts. A lot of hunters use them as pets, but it reminds me of flying through there. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Nice little skybox there. I wonder if they added that. Okay, at least they made it really, really short. That's good. So that was a really, really short one, so it actually wasn't that bad. Alright. Coming up here on Decilis. This kind of makes sense of where to put it here at Moradon. I wouldn't mind to have seen maybe one down the coast. I think the coast here on Decilis is really good. You got giants, in the at least used to. Naga, some ruins. So I think that could have been cool, but we'll see this one. Tons of history in Decilis. So I said we spent a lot of time in Stone Talon, but we spent a lot of time here too. We were pretty much too low level when we were leveling here. But at the same time, we didn't want to come all the way freaking back. Even though we had, you know, the flight pass that we could get and stuff. I don't think we had a connecting one, and we didn't know. Oops, I missed one. And we didn't know, like, which one we were missing or whatever, because we're just complete noobs. And so, like, we were just completely, like, we just want to finish this up, and we just literally toughed it out, did, like, very orange quests, you know, nearly red quests, and just tried to get through it. We died a lot. But so I spent a ton of time here in Decilis. Way more than I would have liked. We actually didn't have a lot of horde problems here overall. More in Stone Talon for sure. I really like this course, but I'm not seeing the rings for some reason. So this is going to be a non-gold one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be my first non-gold. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to use all my charges. Hope I get there. I actually like this course too. This is like maybe my second favorite course. I'm doing terrible. Oh no. Oh no. Oy. Okay, I think I might rerun this one before I even... This is bad. Okay. I'm gonna rerun this one. I just got bronze. Oy. Gold time. I mean, I was only 5 seconds off. Okay, I managed to get gold. That course is hard. All right, here we are in Fairloss. Now, I didn't know much about this zone. This zone was very scary for Alliance players that are noobs like me. You had freaking Dire Maw. You had to go way over here. You had this really hard quest on the coast. You had these weird quests over here by these giant plateaus. You know, this was a place where I was happy to get out of pretty quickly after I was done. But it's actually a really nice zone. Obviously, it's old and these trees are like so badly made for modern time. But down here at this low level, it looks really nice. That's like the biggest difference is once they had to make the zones with flying in mind, then the stuff up in the sky started to look a little bit better, even if it wasn't perfect. I'm so far disappointed. This is really there's some good mountain ranges you could probably do, or you could have done. You know what would have been cool for this one is to go around Dire Mall and like zip in and out of different areas. Oh, so kind of like what I'm doing right now, actually, but maybe have like the whole thing in this general area. So they're definitely onto the right idea, in my opinion. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So this is exactly what I was thinking. So I this is going to be one of my favorite ones too. I think Winter Spring, Desolus, and now this one. I think you could have did even more over there. There's like mountain ranges, maybe gone over by those plateaus I was talking about as well. Like starting it at Dire Mall. I mean, we're going through some ruins, which is pretty nice. But this one had potential, I think, to maybe be like number one. Oop. I think it had potential. Now I screwed it up, but I think it had potential to be like a number one type. Did I still get gold, hopefully? Yeah. Okay. A lot of these timers are very generous, so there's complete gold. All right, so what's next up on the docket? So this is definitely a top 3 one, but it had potential to be even higher. I think we got Silithus, Ungoro, and Oldham left. All right, coming up on the Anchorage circuit here, the Southern Silithus. This one has potential to be good. So Silithus is a very flat zone, but if we stick into the ruins and bob and weave through them, this one has potential to be good. Because Silithus is notoriously a super flat place, but it has potential as long as we're bobbing and weaving through the ruins. To be pretty neat. I never actually got to run this raid in vanilla. I just didn't get to 60 fast enough. I got to do like Blackwing Lair and Molten Core. I think that was it. And then Burning Crusade came out, and obviously, people weren't really hungering to do this anymore at that point, understandably. So I never got to do this while it was relevant, and I didn't play on Classic, OG Classic. If I have enough fun in Classic Hardcore, maybe I would try raiding, but probably not. It's probably just going to be a leveling thing for me. But it's definitely interesting, if nothing else. It'll be very interesting to see like who gets like the mountain stuff on hardcore. So we got the gold. Very forgiving timer. 11 seconds. Cool. So I have a theory here. So the one on Oldham's not showing up on my map. And I have a theory that it's because of the Nazal stuff going on. And so I have a feeling I have to talk to Zadormi here. And then, so if this one isn't here for you in Silithus, the same thing. There's a Zadormi here. So, like, if you don't have the sword on your map, you want the sword there for this one, it looks like. So that's my big brain theory right now for Oldham, because I do not see the one on Oldham map. Either I'm blind or it's not on here. And so I'm going to plan on talking to Zadormi, and hopefully it just appears at that point. And if not, I will be Googling it, I guess. So, okay, here at Ungoro. Now, I imagine this is going to be very similar to a lot of these. I think it's going to be a very bland course. all these old zones were meant to be flat. Basically, you were basically in like a valley or whatever. With the exception being, there's a few mountainous zones, of course, but a lot of the stuff was extremely flat. And even like a mountainous zone like Dummerow, they still contained everything in very flat valleys because they just didn't have this kind of thing ever in mind, really. So I don't plan to be, my socks blown off on this one, but so far it's not too bad. We're sticking to the sides. We're going in between mountains. It's actually pretty good so far. It's better than some of the ones that had probably more potential, I would say. Like this one had potential to be extremely bad, and like so far it's only like average. Nice little landing there to slow myself down. Ooh, okay, that was sketchy. 2 mess ups. That means usually it's at least somewhat difficult. As long as the difficulty is not artificial, which it didn't seem to be. It was just me messing up. So are we just going around this whole zone? I think we are. Okay, so the longer the race is, the more you can really mess up, honestly. So I still might get gold because this is a really long race. Yeah, like I still had 7 seconds, even though I messed up multiple times. Very forgiving one. All right, so we're gonna go down to Oldham, and we're gonna talk to Zadormi and hope that works. And if not, I'm gonna give it a goog, and then we will wrap up this video, and then I will need to go get more. So there's 16 races, I believe, which is 58 tokens. You need 240, I believe, for everything. So I'll be doing these on like advanced and reverse and stuff to get my tokens that I need for the stuff that I want. I definitely want the transmog, and I'll get the customizations too, just to do it. But the transmog is really cool though. I like it a lot. Like everyone's gonna have it. I get that, but I guess at least you worked for it. Right? People always are like, let's do something you have to work for. Flying around this entire continent and doing like, tens and tens of races. I mean, that's demanding you do something. It's that difficult, but it's something. So let's talk to Zadormi here and see if this does it for me. See if I'm big brain here. And there it is. Sweet. So yeah, if it's not showing up for you, if any of these are not showing up for you and there's a Zadormi bronze dragon person there, you probably want to talk to them. So Oldham, of course, definitely has potential. It's a cataclysm zone made with flying in mind. Oldham, there are a lot of cool big mountains. We'll see how far they take us around. If we're just going to stick to the river, then it's probably not going to be that good. That's what it kind of seems like. I think having this one be very high in the sky and spread out more across the mountains would be better. Because so people might disagree with me here, but I actually like scenery and stuff while I do these, especially for these nostalgia ones, right? So like so far this course is pretty dang bland, but I actually like seeing the scenery of things while I do it. Just, oh yeah, I remember this place. Oh yeah, I did a quest there. I mean, I can kind of see some of it from above, or see the above stuff from below, I should say, like that statue and stuff. Okay, going in here is pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So that's a pretty neat aspect. I definitely remember the quest in there as well. That was pretty neat. So a little bit of neatness mixed in with some really river blandness at the beginning and end, I guess. So much potential, though. I really have high hopes for the Eastern Kingdoms. Sweet. Golden Tour. Nice. Lots of achievements. Cool. So, yeah. So, like I said, you'll have like 58 when you do all the races on normal. So, if you're not just doing this for me and like me and just going through and seeing them all, Like you'll want to go ahead and do like the advanced course, maybe the reverse course as well. I don't know how many those give you, but yeah, I think it's 240 to get everything of these marks or whatever, these dragon riding badges. So yeah, pretty cool. Super excited for Eastern Kingdoms. Hopeful for Northrend. Hopeful for a Mista Pandaria one. And overall, I think this one was pretty good too. With probably three standing out. I think we'll go Winter Spring. Oh man, I already forget what one of them was. I can't. I have to do this. What was it? Oh, Feralas. Yeah, I'll go Winter Spring, Feralas, Decitus as my top three for the Kalimdor. Eastern Kingdoms, man. Regardless, whatever one's here, that's going to be my number one. I can tell you that right now. So, as always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. Other than that, everybody, have a good one.